Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Aligned Actor PodTubeStack. That's right, it's a podcast, it's a YouTube video, it lives on my Substack. I am so excited that I'm so excited that I'm tripping over my words. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. I'm Amy Schloerb. I am your friendly neighborhood, pint-sized actor and mindfulness and mindset coach for actors and creatives, helping us all to thrive mentally and emotionally as we navigate this crazy creative career life that we've chosen for ourselves, because it is not for the faint of heart. It is a challenging road, and we walk it as gracefully as possible, and that is what I am here to help you do. And there's an area of actor life that I think is often overlooked, but it's critically important when it comes to maintaining a strong, resilient mindset. This is the interactions that we have with the people in our lives who are not actors and who have no connection whatsoever to the entertainment industry. And maybe they have regular jobs, like they're dentists or bankers or teachers or accountants or portfolio managers. I don't know, but they have regular jobs where they get health insurance and regular paychecks. And they go to an office. Anyway, there are people who are not connected to the entertainment industry. They're not actors, they're not artists, and I call them outsiders. And I do that with a lot of love, but they just don't get it. And it can be difficult to talk with these people, to interact with these people at times, even though we probably have very positive relationships with them in general. Maybe we don't always. I don't know. I don't know your life, obviously. I've talked about outsiders previously on this PodTubeStack. The deal is that they tend to hold a very different view of acting. They see it one way, they see the career in one way. While actors, the people who are on the inside of the business, who deal with this stuff day to day, who understand the ins and outs of the entertainment industry, and sometimes we don't even really understand it, but we engage in it day to day. We see it in a very different way. We understand the realities of being an actor day to day because we live it. And this mismatch, it does not line up at all. It can cause a lot of stress in our relationships. And if we aren't careful about how we approach these interactions, they can really mess with our self-concept, how we view ourselves as actors, and then also our overall actor mindset. Like, are we going to feel good about ourselves as actors? Are we going to feel like we identify as actors, or are we going to feel more like we identify as wannabe actors? Which we don't really want to do, because that doesn't really help us in our careers. If we're thinking of ourselves as, I'm trying to be an actor, I want to be an actor, I'm wanting to be an actor, that's not as conducive to confidence and feeling good about ourselves as actors. And yeah, so why does this happen? Well, basically, acting is a weird profession. Can we all admit that? It's a weird profession that most people are exposed to every single day, but this profession can really only be understood by the people who are actively engaged in it. Actors. So the folks on the outside who are looking in on what we do as actors, they'll never really understand what it's like to be an actor. What they know of the acting career comes from watching actors on TV shows that they like, in movies, in plays. Maybe they've finally figured out that there's actors in their video games. Maybe not, though. Maybe they just think that, oh no, that's just a computer made that character. It's like, no, that was voiced by an actor. So they see actors in that way. And then they also hear celebrity actors, because they're the ones who get interviewed on television shows and on the shows that they watch and in the papers and things like that. They hear celebrity actors talk about how the entertainment industry works for them. But that's just one very exclusive type of actor experience. And that's just not reality for so many of us. It's certainly not my reality. And additionally, the stories that celebrity actors tend to tell on the red carpet or on the late night talk show interviews, they tend to be they boil the story down so that it's funny and digestible and very simplistic and a punchy sort of soundbite. So it'll be stuff like, yeah, I read the script and I just really fell in love with it. And I called up Steven and I said, yeah, let's make a movie. And the rest is history. And so that's probably why we have relatives in our lives who will say stuff like, well, why don't you just call up Steven Spielberg and ask to be in his movie? I mean, that's what so-and-so did. Because that's all they know. They think that's how the entertainment industry works. And for some people, that is how the entertainment industry works. And for most people, myself included, that is not how the entertainment industry works at all. That's not how being an actor goes at all. So because they don't get it, the outsiders in our lives will say things and ask things and do things that irritate us and often trigger our insecurities. So they'll ask stuff like, when am I going to see you on my TV? I want to see you on my TV. When is that going to happen? I keep looking for you and you're not there. When are you going to be on my TV? Because actors, to them, are an either or. So either you're an actor who's made it and you're on my TV, or you're trying to do the actor thing. And if those are our only two options, sadly, most of us end up in the trying to do the actor thing box, as defined by outsiders. This is not how I believe we should be defining ourselves as insiders of the career. We should not be defining ourselves as trying to do anything. We are doing this. We are engaged in this career. And if we're not careful, we can start to adopt that outsider perspective. And we can take it on for ourselves, which is what can really mess with our actor mindset and cause us to start thinking things like, yeah, I haven't made it. I'm not really an actor. And the subconscious subtext of that is usually, my career is not good enough and I'm not good enough. And that's a really hard place to be mentally and emotionally as an actor when you're trying to be confident in yourself and in your work and believe in yourself enough to keep putting yourself out there day after day after day. So these interactions with outsiders can hurt. And additionally, we all want to feel understood and accepted, because a sense of belonging, feeling like we belong to something or to someone or to people or to a group, that's really important for all humans, sort of universally. So what do we tend to do? We, as actors, explain. And we explain, we explain, and we explain, and again, and again, and again, and we take our family and our friends through the casting process all the time, over and over again. Like, Dad, just no, it's okay. So like, yeah, they brought me in 2 weeks in a row, and that's really great because it means that, like, okay, I didn't book that first one, but then they brought me back because they liked my work. So clearly, like, I'm on their radar, and like maybe they'll bring me in for something else future down the line as they're casting more things. Like, clearly I'm becoming more and more known within that part of the business. But they never get it. They just don't. So they come back at you with stuff like, okay, but you didn't book it. So like, how is that good? And like, when are you going to book? And that's a really difficult question to answer because as actors, we just don't know. We could turn in the best freaking self-tape of our lives. And everybody could agree. Even casting could be like, wow, that's a really great self-tape. That's an incredibly great actor. It's not going to work for our project here and now, but man, that person is fantastic. And you still don't book. So it's frustrating. And so, as we try to explain and explain and explain again how acting is not a meritocracy, there are no guarantees in this, and we don't know when we're going to book. We end up wasting all this precious energy, and it leaves us feeling exhausted and stressed and frustrated and maybe insecure and still feeling misunderstood. So still feeling I don't belong. Like you don't get it and you don't understand me, and that's a hard place to be. Fortunately, it doesn't have to be like this. There is a way out of all of this mess. There's a way through all of this mess with mindfulness and mindset work. So mindfulness meditation, as I have talked about so much on this PodTubeStack, it's a foundation for us. It's a foundation of self-care. It's a foundation of self-awareness so that we can then sit with and acknowledge and honor all the feelings and all the thoughts that come up in those interactions and everything that they can trigger within us without letting any of that take over completely and completely tank our mindset. So we practice week after week after week on the weeks when I lead mindfulness. We practice just sitting with thoughts and sitting with feelings, letting them be there. It's okay, they can be there. The frustration can be there, the sadness can be there. Whatever it is, it can just be there. Whatever the thoughts are that I'm having that are maybe fueling those emotions, I'm just going to let that all be there. I'm not going to cling to it. I'm not going to push it away or resist it. But I also don't have to make it mean something bad about me. I can just sit and be present to it and notice it and let it be okay. And I realize that sounds like it won't work. It sounds counterproductive. Like it sounds like, wait, but if I just sit with it and let it be, then it's gonna be better. It is. It loses its sting. It loses its power over you. The more you can just go, okay, frustration is here. When we can self-validate, when we can self-acknowledge, I feel really frustrated because I just got off the phone with my mom or my dad or my older brother or whoever, and they said some things about my little acting career, and it really hurt. When we can just sit with ourselves and go, that really hurt. It helps. Takes the sting out of it. Instead of trying to ignore our feelings, instead of trying to push our feelings away, instead of saying, maybe that guy just doesn't know and he's an idiot and he thinks his tie is so fancy at his corporate job and whatever. When we can just sit with it, when we can self-acknowledge and go, that really hurt. And I see myself. And I'm going to let it be okay that that hurt. It takes the sting off of it. It takes the rough edges off of the whole thing. We can sit with ourselves. We can nurture ourselves through any feelings that come up. And additionally, once we're aware that these interactions with outsiders are exhausting, because they are, and that they're really messing with our self-concept as actors, they make us feel like we're not really actors when we are actors. It's who we are. It's what we've chosen to be. We are that. It's messing with our self-concept. It's making us feel less than, making us feel not good enough. We can find ways to protect our energy, and we can find ways to reframe these interactions so that they have empowering meanings instead of meanings that make us feel bad about ourselves. And we can let go of the need for outsiders to get it. We can get cool, same way that we get cool with all of our feelings. We kind of sit with them in a neutral space and we're like, all right, I'm just going to let this be there. We can just let it be there that, our older brother doesn't understand what we do as an actor. And he just never will, and he's always going to kind of belittle us for it, and that hurts. We're going to let it be what it is. He doesn't have to get it. I get it. He doesn't have to get it. I don't have an older brother, by the way. I just am making up these examples as I go along. And we can also anchor confidence in our minds and in our bodies. So I bet you're really wondering how to do all of that. And I want to tell you, I'm so excited to tell you. However, it's a little beyond the scope of a PodTubeStack. So we're going to have to take this party off the PodTubeStack and continue the party in my 2 upcoming workshops. And I am very, very, very excited about these workshops. The first workshop is Mindfulness 101, Empower Your Craft and Your Career with Your Presence. And that's where we're really going to break down mindfulness. Even more depth is what we're going to go into. That sentence made sense. We're going to go into mindfulness in even more depth than we do on the weeks where we practice mindfulness. I'm going to really break it down for you so that it becomes really, really dirt simple and so accessible that you're going to be able to start your practice easily, and you're going to be able to make mindfulness a way of life so that it can support you in your acting career, in all facets of your acting career, in all aspects of your acting career, and in all aspects of your life in general. Because mindfulness holds so many benefits for humans in general, and then so many benefits specifically for actors. You're going to be able to calm your nerves really easily before a big scene, and you're even going to be cool with having nervous energy around. You're going to be like, all right, hey, I'm feeling nervous about doing this self-tape, or I'm feeling nervous about going on to set and doing this big scene with this big star, but that's okay. Of course I'm going to feel that way. No big deal. And when we stop resisting something, that's when it can start to dissipate. So you're going to be able to calm your nerves really easily before a big scene. You're going to be able to stay then present and connected with your scene partner, because mindfulness is all about being in the present moment. You're not going to be thinking about all the stuff around and am I getting this right and all this stuff. You're going to be present and focused in with that scene partner so that you can do your best work every single take. And then the biggest benefit that I see from mindfulness, and the biggest benefit I've gotten out of it as an actor, is I can ride the freaking banana pants crazy roller coaster of the acting career, all the highs and lows, all the twists and turns, everything that this entertainment industry can throw at us. Freaking AI and getting cut out of shows and being told like, oh yes, you're booked, here's your call time, oh wait, sorry, we cut that roll out last minute, so now you're not coming to set anymore. So that roller coaster of like, oh my god, yes, I'm gonna get to go to set, this is so awesome, I gotta arrange childcare and I'm so excited, but like this is gonna be great, to then, oh wait, it's gone, no paycheck, but ride that roller coaster without throwing up. Ride that roller coaster with calm resilience instead of disdain and self-loathing and bitter jadedness. Jadedness might be a made-up word, but you're going to stop feeling bitter and jaded towards the industry, and you're not going to burn out. And you're going to stay in this career for the long haul. And that's what it takes, I think, to be a successful actor in this business. So that's the first workshop. That's where you're going to get that foundation in mindfulness that is going to serve you so well as an actor. And then the second workshop is dealing with folks who don't get it. Stop feeling like crap after every phone call and gathering. And that's where we get into this specific problem that we've been talking about on the PodTubeStack today. So the idea that like the outsiders don't get it, and then we have interactions with them, and usually we end up feeling like crap by the end of that because they say something that makes us feel less than or like we're not good enough. And what do we do about that? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in that workshop. And you're going to walk away with a specific, concrete plan that leaves you feeling confident and feeling confident in yourself as an actor, feeling confident in your acting career, so that no matter what banana pants thing anybody who's an outsider says or does, you're going to be okay. And even if it does throw you, you're going to know how to nurture yourself. You're going to know how to let that slide off your back more easily than you have in the past. You're not going to carry it around for days or weeks or months. You're going to have the tools that you need to be able to get through those interactions more gracefully, to be able to handle all of that mess. So some of the things we're going to talk about in that workshop, we're going to talk about maintaining and protecting your energy. Really important. We're going to talk about finding ways to feel understood by the folks who do get it, which is going to be really fun. We're also going to talk about letting go of the need for outsiders to get it, which I know it kind of sounds hard, but it's easier than you think. We're also going to talk about reframing interactions so that they have empowering meanings. And I'm going to tell you a bunch of stories. I have some good stories from times where I've had to let go of, okay, if they don't get it, I'm going to let that go. And then had to reframe some kind of difficult moments so that my mindset didn't completely tank and I didn't feel like complete crap about myself as an actor. And then finally, we're going to figure out a way to anchor confidence in your mind and in your body. And that's a really cool NLP exercise that I'm really excited to share with you. It's even something that you could use for acting in general. Like you could use it to anchor something else within your body. Not necessarily anchor, but like be able to easily access some other emotional state that you want to be able to easily access. So that's a fun one, should you choose to do that. And these two workshops are part of what I'm calling the December double feature. So it's two awesome Zoom workshops for one low, pick your price so that you can go into the new year feeling calm, feeling resilient, feeling empowered, feeling focused, relaxed, and confident in yourself and in your acting career. So I've talked about the two workshops, but you also get some bonuses. Of course, you're going to get access to recordings of both workshops, and those are for your reference. And then in case you just can't attend live, so I should probably tell you the dates. The dates are Mindfulness 101 is on Monday, December 8th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific. And then Dealing with Folks Who Don't Get It is on Monday, December 15th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific. So adjust that for your time zone if you're in a different time zone. But if you can't be there live, that's totally fine. You're not going to miss out at all because I am going to send out recordings of the workshops so that you have access to those. And then if you are there live, you also get access to the recordings so you can go back, rewatch, and continue to absorb the material at your own pace. You're also going to get access to Google Docs of all my notes. So you have a handy reference and easy notes. You don't have to watch the whole workshop again. You can just go back and be like, oh, okay, that's right. I wanted to remember how to do that exercise. What are the steps? Got it. Cool. So I have Google Docs for you on all of that. You also get immediate access when you sign up. You don't even have to wait for the dates of the workshops. You immediately get access to the Aligned Actor Mindfulness Meditation Library. I just changed the name of it, so I had to remember for a second. So yes, the Aligned Actor Mindfulness Meditation Library, and currently that has over 70 mindfulness meditations in it that I've recorded over the years. It's been about a year of me, that's all that stuff for about a year that I've been doing. And it's over 70 mindfulness meditations. There are ones that are between 5 and 10 minutes. There are ones that are between 10 and 20 minutes. There's also some that are themed. So maybe it's about luck, or it's about body awareness, or it's about loving kindness, or it's about, so just different themes that they could have. But mostly they're straight, mindfulness, basic mindfulness practice so that you can get really good at being able to do that, incorporating that in to your daily life. And you have over 70 of them. So if you went and signed up today and you started working with those, you did one a day, by the time we get to the workshop, you're going to have such a leg up. You're going to understand mindfulness in an even deeper way when we go through the workshop on it. You're going to be set up for even more success in dealing with the folks who don't get it. It's going to be awesome. So you're going to really jumpstart your practice with your access to that library. And then you also, immediately upon signing up, you get access to my signature pre-audition focusing meditation. And this is a very special meditation that is going to help you focus in on what your character wants before an audition or before a scene, any scene work that you do. Focus in on what your character wants. Let go of the nerves. Let go of all the distracting thoughts around, how am I going to book this job? I really want to book this job. What does casting want? How do I get this scene right? Let go of all of that and focus in on what your character wants and focus in on what's going on for them in that scene. Because your character never gives a flying frick about anything other than what they want in the scene. They don't care about you booking the job. They don't care about them booking the job. They don't know what the job is. The job is what they're doing in the scene, what they want in the scene. Do that. Focus there. That's what this meditation is going to help you do so that you can present your best work, take after take, self-tape after self-tape. So you get all of that included in the December double feature deal. Again, you get to pick your price on this one. So you can pay $27, $37, or $47, depending on where you align with money and your budget and things like that. It's totally up to you. That's my gift to you this December. So you can click the links in the show notes, in the description of the video, in the Substack, and you can get access to that. And if that was all too much, you can't find a link, you just go to thealignedactor.com/workshops and you can get signed up right away, instantly. It's a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun at that, and I am so excited to share that with you. And I'm so excited that you were here with me today for this PodTubeStack. And if you have interactions with folks in your life who don't get it coming up anytime soon, or if you've just got off the phone with somebody who didn't get it and then you were listening to this podcast, I see you. I know that that's hard. And so my best advice to you right now is to just let that be hard. Sit with those feelings, honor those feelings, acknowledge yourself, and then now go do one nice thing for yourself. Because you are an actor. Despite however that interaction made you feel, you are an actor. You're a brilliant actor, and I want you to feel good about yourself. So go take care of yourself, and then maybe pick up a monologue or a scene and tap back into the joy of acting and take care of yourself. All right. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you later.